the word conflict?
What is the situation of refugees in Gaza? And then I went to ChatGPT, it gave me the same. But then when I asked about the what atrocities are happening in Gaza and Israel, for both of them, it gave me, ChatGPT said I don't have real information, as my knowledge was last updated in January 2022. Up until that.
Mike,
yes.
Another thing that we've been experiencing, you know, like these platforms that we've been talking about today,
yes,
ChatGPT, Google Bird, you know, like they've started becoming popular and people have started using them
yes,
for certain tasks. We've also been attempting to use them.
Yes.
As you can see, we publish videos daily, at least 2 videos daily, and to make sure that you guys actually click on the videos and share them, we have to word them in such a way. We don't like clickbaiting, but we like wording it in such a way that will get you curious and want to know.
We mdalasini them.
Yeah, we spice it up a bit.
We word bait.
Yeah.
We mdalasini. No, we mdalasini.
At the end of this, there's a bait to this conversation.
We mdalasini them.
No, there's no bait.
It's mdalasini.
There's something that we've been experiencing with these platforms, because we've been trying to see how, you know, recommendations from ChatGPT and Google Bird, and I think I'm gonna let OneMic talk about some of the experiences that we've gotten as we get to this topic about new age censorship and shadow banning. Mike.
So we had a very beautiful conversation last week with my niece and her friend.
Okay.
So Rehema and Jide.
Yes.
Addressing a myriad of issues, you know, starting from what students and campuses, institutions, educational institutions, what was percolating, you know, what the buzz was, you know, and especially pertaining to like what was going on in Gaza, you know, and you know, you could sense that people were talking about it, and of course they were pro and against, and how maybe some faculty were pro and student bodies were anti. So they are pro-Israel, these guys are anti. So we were trying to mdalasini, you know, trying to come up with something. And when entering the, you know, please generate this, that, the other, we were quickly redirected to go to Google, because we mentioned Gaza.
We mentioned Gaza.
Can you put the camera on your face?
Yeah, we mentioned Gaza, and I'm gonna give a quick.
Somebody's asking.
I'm gonna give a quick.
Or they want to see what
here.
it looks like.
Yeah, they want to see. No, he was talking.
No, I'm gonna give a quick example of some of the things that we got, just so that you don't think that that this is being made up. So we asked, one of the questions that we asked is rewrite the YouTube title, and the title that we wanted to write was faculties reacting against protests erupting on US college campuses over war in Gaza. So the answer that they gave was the conflict in Israel and Gaza is complex and changing rapidly. If you'd like up-to-date information, try using Google search. This is actually an improvement. Previously, they would just say it's complex and they would end it. They would not give you an answer. But then, when you change just the same wording, but you change the word Gaza with war in Congo. So now read, faculties reacting against protests erupting on US college campuses over war in Congo. It gives a long list of recommendations. You know, professors speak out against US involvement in Congo. College faculty condemn protests against war in Congo. The one ya Gaza, wamesema hiyo hapo, is too much.
Google.
Yeah. And then when you take that same...
You do try Ukraine?
No, ukitoa... I don't have the Israel one. Ukitoa Gaza and Uweka Israel, it gives you an answer. It gives you an answer. And let me see if I can find that Israel one. It does give you an answer. So basically, all these artificial intelligence platforms, they may be intelligent, but they're not necessarily doing what they're telling you that they're supposed to do, because they say that they're neutral and they'll comb the whole internet, if this information is there, and just lay it down for you. But that's not the case. That's not the case of what they're doing. And we found this very shocking. A lot of searches that we're doing that involved Gaza or anything that seemed pro-Palestine, you would get that message that this conflict is complex.
And no, we did not. I mean, specifically, we did not choose Ukraine, because I know you're asking about Ukraine.
I wanted to know what
we didn't do that, because ideally what we were trying to see, because right now that's the current.
They
the
have
hot
updated
word.
it right now. Even if you search Israel, it's giving you the same answer. So basically, they are avoiding anything to do with that conflict.
So here's the funny thing, Mika. When you weka Israel, ukitoa the same sentence.
Just change one.
Toa Gaza, weka Israel.
Yeah, I've just
They
done
will
the
give
same.
you an
I've
answer.
done it right now.
They-
You can relate to your generic answer. The conflicts in Israel and Gaza is complex and changing rapidly.
So I'm gonna share with you, like a couple of different, and this has been, because we've been doing this for now, I think close to 2 months, and it was just very shocking, like especially when this conflict began.
And the interesting thing was what I was trying to do, and I, before I don't know if I mentioned, like when we were chatting, I my intention was to, because when you posted that, I was like, Allah, shadow banning, and then he was quick to change from Gaza to Congo, and then we saw that, and we were having this discussion offline as we were bantering, and Mika can chime in. I think because the idea was, I'm of the opinion that in as much as this thing has been set up, it's AI, it has been fed a lot of things, a lot. I mean, for it to be able to, if you ask it to come up with, let's say, the geological structure of, or the chemical bonding component of water and carbon, and it'll come up and write up something. If you are doing homework, if you're writing a paper, you put it in there, and then you repeat and rinse and repeat, and it changes. It has been fed that information. Personally, I believe that some of that information, of course, is not all of it has been fed, and especially pertaining to certain areas, certain parts, or for lack of a better word, certain conflicts. Hakuna kitu ya kusema, hakuna, there's nothing to address that. I am sure if we were probably to put up Ukraine, maybe Mika, quickly you can, if we work out Ukraine and Russia, see what you're going to come up with. But it's ideally, in as much, I believe it's information that has been fed, and it has specifically not been fed that. And it goes to like that, the UDC,
so I think
Daughters of Confederacy and whatever.
AI essentially, like what it does is that it can comb
It
the
brings
whole
answers
internet.
for Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So AI basically it combs the whole internet and gets its answers. So it can do like it at a very fast pace, because
Yes.
these are supercomputers. So it combs the whole internet. But I think what they do to the algorithm is that there are certain questions. It's not that it doesn't have access to the answers, but I think what they do to the algorithm is that they muzzle it at that part. They're like, this one, do not answer yes. Like there are answers available to this question, but do not answer this question.
I did change the question and I put, what is the situation of refugees in Gaza? And it brought me a lot. It brought me answers
you did
about
not choose the word
refugees.
conflict.
What is the situation of refugees in Gaza? And then I went to ChatGPT, it gave me the same. But then when I asked about what atrocities are happening in Gaza and Israel, for both of them, it gave me, ChatGPT said I don't have real information as my knowledge was last updated in January 2022. Up until that point, the Gaza Strip has been a region marked by ongoing conflict and humanitarian concern, particularly related to the Israel-Palestinian conflict. However, the specific situation can change rapidly, and I recommend checking the latest news for reliable sources to get the most up-to-date information on any current event or atrocities in Gaza. News agencies, humanitarian organizations, and official government statements are good places to look for accurate and timely information.
Now, I think what people need to understand when using these new platforms, because AI is a level above, like your basic Google search, because Google search will just give you a list of links where the answers are, and you have to look for the answers yourself within those links. But AI kind of does that work for you and then just summarizes the answer for you. So I think people ought to be very, very careful in how they do this, because remember, for a long time, people used to trust, like mainstream media and anything they say.
Yes.
But of course, over time, people have come to understand that mainstream, like there's certain pieces of information they muzzle. They don't give information in the right way, in a very objective way. So now let's also understand that the same thing is happening right now, even with artificial intelligence. Remember, I don't know whether any of you knows, but right now, like, there are no journalists who are being allowed to go in to Gaza except if they're going in with the IDF. And that includes CNN journalists, and whatever footage they get has to be reviewed first by the IDF. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, we live in an age of verification. Just go and check for yourself. So some of this information that you're getting now from even from CNN, and let's even assume that CNN is trying to give us the true picture of what's happening, it's being censored by IDF. They're not allowing journalists to go in there. And as we speak, they've also killed journalists. They had killed journalists before this conflict. They had already killed some journalists before. There was an Al Jazeera journalist. There were there's a number of journalists who had been killed before this conflict. So I think we need to understand that we are in a place where we just, any information that we get, like especially from mainstream media, especially here in the US, you just have to be very careful about it. What they tell you, what they say, you just have to be very careful.
And I think we discussed this last week. I think it is, there is a lot of information out there, but there's also good information that is out there. And I think it's a matter of probably trying to find it's a matter of finding or looking for verifiable, factual sources or information, because they're there.
Primary sources, if you can get access to a primary source.
Primary source.
Yeah.